Værsgo.
Hello and welcome to Conversations About a Killer. Today we're going to talk about Jeffrey Dahmer, and except for me, Olivia, and Victor as your hosts, we also have our experts Tia and Sophia. Welcome.
Hi guys.
Hello.
So, Tia, will you start about, who was Jeffrey Dahmer?
He was a serial killer who was born in 1960. He killed 17 people from the age of 14 to men in their 30s, all male.
Jeffrey Dahmer was a known killer, but he has killed multiple people, but where did it all start?
His first murder took place in the comfort of his own home. He lived at the house alone, since his mom moved away with his brother, and his dad moved in with his girlfriend. His first victim's name was Stephen Hicks. At the age of 18, he was hitchhiking along the road, going to a concert, when Jeffrey came about him. And he said that he could drive him up there later that night. Jeffrey invited him in for a few beers and to work out, and they spent a few hours together before Stephen thought it was time for them to head up to the concert. This made Jeffrey angry, and he tried to get him to stay. In the end, he impulsively killed him with a barbell and then dismembered his body afterwards.
One of the most famous murders is the murder of Tony Hughes. Tia, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Of course. Tony Hughes was 31 years old, male. He was, he met Jeffrey Dahmer in a bar. Tony was also deaf, so Dahmer and him could only communicate through notes and Tony's lip reading. Dahmer claims that Tony and him was in a romantic relationship, but it was never really confirmed. Dahmer was the longest about killing him because he claimed that they were in love. Tony felt his needs and insecurities, but that Dahmer had until he killed him.
Another victim was Conrad Synthesophone. What was special about him?
He was the youngest victim of all the murders that happened. He immigrated from Laos before he was brutally murdered by Jeffrey, after he found him wandering around the streets naked. He had 7 siblings, one of which was earlier sexually assaulted by Jeffrey before he himself was killed. Some say the brother was lucky enough to escape from Jeffrey, and the brother later on filed a lawsuit against Jeffrey, but he failed to convict him since the judge felt mercy with Jeffrey.
Well, and how did Jeffrey's family life contribute to him becoming a serial killer?
Dahmer had an overall unhealthy family life. Dahmer's parents' names were Joyce and Lionel. His mother was an alcoholic and had postpartum depression, which was first discovered many years later after the divorce between Dahmer's mom and dad. Joyce and Lionel fought all the time during their marriage, which Jeffrey and his brother were both witnesses to. This led to a lot of tense energy around the house, which affected both Jeffrey and his brother. Jeffrey was not a boy with hobbies or interests and so on whatsoever, but then his dad discovered his son's fascination with taxidermy and dissecting roadkill. Jeffrey and his father then started finding roadkill and dissecting it in their garage. Lionel said that he had never seen his son disinterested in anything, and when Lionel was questioned by the police after finding all the bodies in Jeffrey's apartment, the police asked if there was anything else they needed to know, where Lionel said that he had brain surgery as an infant, which he believed might have had something to do with his killing spree mindset.
And what sentence did he end up getting, and how much time did he serve?
Jeffrey Dahmer got 15 life sentences, and he was sent to Columbia Correctional Institution. After serving 2 years, he was beaten to death doing a cleaning job by another inmate, Christopher Scarver. He killed both Jeffrey Dahmer and Jesse Anderson with an iron pipe from a scale at the prison gym. Scarver then claimed he was the son of God and killed Dahmer and Anderson. He was following God's will. Some people do believe race played in a role in the killings, as most of Dahmer's victims were black, while Anderson killed his wife and blamed the black man.
Thank you guys for telling us about Jeffrey Dahmer, and to all listeners, we hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we will tune in again next week.